Hello, I'm Richard Ridge. The famed Paper Mill Playhouse in Millburn, New Jersey kicks off their season with the new Disney musical Newsies, which is based on the 1992 film. It features music by 8-time Academy Award winner Alan Menken, a book by 4-time Tony Award winner Harvey Fierstein, and lyrics by Jack Feldman. We're here in the rehearsal room where choreographer Christopher Gattelli and director Jeff Calhoun will give us a sneak peek at Newsies.
Now is the time to seize the day. Now is the time to seize the day. Answer the call and don't delay. Answer the call and don't delay. Homes will be riding if we're united. Let us seize the day. Yeah! One for all and all for one. Strike! Strike! Strike!
It's intimidating a little bit. You know, the first meeting I had with Alan, he has his chair and his desk positioned right under his 8 Oscars. So it took a while to get over that. And Harvey, of course, has 4 Tony Awards. Jack and I are the only 2 on the team that haven't won anything. But, you know, they're legends. I'm working with real theater legends. And it's humbling, and it's also empowering, and it's a wonderful time right now. It's a wonderful time. They're very collaborative. They couldn't be more collaborative. Because it's a lot. Adapting this from the movie to the stage took a lot of collaboration. But everybody seems to have the same philosophy, which is best idea wins. And that's how we run the room. Almost everything Kenny Ortega does, I think, is great. And it's kind of ironic, because the last thing I did for Disney was High School Musical, which was Kenny Ortega, and now I'm doing this, so I tell Kenny to just keep making movies so I have a theater career.
Well, Harvey coming aboard was huge, definitely. I mean, that was a total surprise, because he was actually at my studio. We were talking about another show, and he looks down at the DVD of Newsies, which happened to be sitting there, because we had been working earlier on it, but it wasn't work. We just hadn't figured it out. And he said, "What's this?" I said, "Oh, it's Newsies." He said, I know. Are you working on that? I said, "Yeah." He said, "Wow, I got some ideas." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, let me look at it and come back to you." And I said, kind of whispered to Tom Schumacher, I said, "You know, Harvey's kind of interested in this." He said, "Okay, well, let's see where this goes." And then Harvey came back with these ideas, and I went, "Really? Wow, okay." And then they were just so fresh, so, you know, I mean, he's a pro. He's a total pro. He understands stage, he understands character, and brand new collaboration. It's always so exciting to have a brand new, especially with somebody like Harvey. It's just the adaptation process is always like a rebirth. And, you know, all of a sudden, you take a movie and you go, no, we got to figure out an act break. So you organize things so that you hit that big moment at the end of Act 1 where there's a cliffhanger of where you're going to go. How do we start Act 2? Where do we? And as those things all line up, it turns into a musical. There's a whole generation of kids, and older than these kids too, who somehow adopted Newsies when we weren't watching. And watching them sort of being able to sort of reclaim their ownership of it is very, very exciting. And it's a whole discovery process for me, because, you know, they're teaching me things about my show that I didn't really know existed.
For me, it's been so cool, I can't even describe it. The idea that we get to have a do-over with it, because the movie where everything had to be pre-recorded and you couldn't really make changes, and the schedule was so fast and we had to write it so quickly, that having a chance to revisit some of those numbers as well as write new ones was just amazing for me.
It's that thing of trying to honor what the entity is, but also make it your own and breathe your own life into it, so that you I don't know, just make it its own piece now. And so, but yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. But it's funny that you say Michael Kidd and Gene Kelly, because that was, to me, that was when I went into my meeting with them. I said, you know, what I loved about the movie at the time was that it was contemporary. But I said, but knowing that now it's stage and we have to honor period and whatnot. Yet Alan's music is so timeless. Like that's what the score is so incredible. Is you have this turn of the century show, but with Alan's score, which is timeless. How do you do that? So it's trying to infuse people like Michael Kidd and Gene Kelly and Fred Astaire, whose work it's technical and it's strong and athletic and masculine, but timeless. So so I've been trying to weave all those colors in there.
It turns night right into day. Dreams come true. Yeah, they do. In Santa Fe, you say you gotta live and die here. Where you say the bike can't catch a break. Why should you only take what you're given? Why should you spend your whole life living trapped when there ain't no future? Even at 17.
Since I was a kid, I was obsessed with this show. I mean, I saw it a million times in the theater. I saw it a billion times on VHS. I think I have the DVD now. I've only seen it a few times on that one, but I mean, it really was a big influence on my life. And you know, while I was a little kid when it came out when I was like 9, I don't think I wanted to be an actor or anything like that. But it really moved me. In a lot of ways, the music and the story and the feeling of brotherhood and uniting and the little guy standing up. So and all those things are sort of resurfacing now that I've gotten to do this show again, and I'm sort of reconnecting with my 9-year-old self and really hopefully making him proud to create this story that, I mean, everybody I know is like, why has Newsies come to the stage yet? And I'm getting older and I'm like, well, maybe I won't get to be a part of it. You know, always some deep secret in me was like, oh God, I just want to do it. I just want to, you know, have a little part in it. I don't care what. I want to see it. I don't even care. And the fact that I get to create Jack Kelly, I mean, the coolest guy I knew as a kid, I mean, is beyond belief, and that I get to sort of bring Newsies and help bring Newsies to all these fans that have been true to it and are obsessed with it and love it as much as I did is really a treat.
I play the role of Crutchy. He's the one with the crutch. He's the sweetest character. He's really kind of the ultimate optimist. There's been a lot of hard knocks against him, but he still remains to be one of the most positive of the Newsies. And I think that's what really attracted me to the character. He's so sweet, and really in this version, they've really connected Jack and Crutchy. Jack is always looking out for him, and it's a really just beautiful, like, kind of brotherly relationship. I think it was sort of the first movie of, at least for kids in my generation, to see boys doing musical theater and having it be like a cool thing. Like nowadays they have like High School Musical and Glee, but it was really our movie.
Well, she ends up writing the article about the boys and about how they're gonna strike, and she's Bill Pullman from the movie, basically, who falls in love with Jack. So it would be a problem if it was a man. But yeah, so in that song, she's trying to figure out how to write this article, and she's a woman who usually reviews, you know, like these flower shows and the plays and like fashion and stuff like that. And women didn't really get those opportunities, not even the opportunity to be a journalist. I'm sort of basing it on Nellie Bly, yeah. So because she was sort of this turn of the century amazing journalist who stood up against the men and got the jobs that men usually have and fought for it really hard. And she fought, and Catherine fights for this, and she's kind of going behind people's backs and writing this. So there's a lot of high stakes in writing this article, and she's never really done it either. Like, this is a big deal. So she's schizophrenic in that song, and that's just how you have to treat it. And she's just going back and forth about how Jack is a jerk, and oh wait, I have to write this. And she's just, you know, it's just verbal vomit.
What you know, so they say. All I know is I don't know what to write or the right way to write it. This is big when you don't screw it up. Well, that was the screaming of 10 angry editors. A girl? How the hell did a girl? Is that even legal? Look, just go.
Well, I play Davey, who's sort of the bookish boy from next door who takes up selling newspapers to help his family, who's sort of going through a rough patch. And in doing so, he meets Jack and Crutchy and this wonderful gang of guys that sort of make him feel accepted, and you know, he finds a place of belonging, and he eventually sort of gets the idea to help with the strike and with the rally and all that. So it's a very exciting role to play, to sort of start as, you know, this real timid, bookish guy to go to this, you know, strike-hungry newsie. For someone like me, it's really exciting to be able to put your emotion into the moves and just give it, you know?